Hello, everybody, and welcome to another stream. Hopefully, your week went well, and happy to have you here. I was hoping to stream yesterday as well, but I just didn't get around to finishing this couple of um, items that I wanted to show you guys today. And yeah, with that said, let me show you a couple of the things that I was working on this week, and we'll try and refine them a little bit. I'll show you how I what I did for these. All right, so let me jump into game mode. Actually, just also to mention, this is what I'm gonna try and show is like the first interaction, like when the game starts. You got the flight sequence. You choose your jump point, and this is kind of the first jump point that I'm planning for the demo. And yeah, you're gonna need to rescue this one guy. We'll also try and add a little bit of audio to him. Kind of he's being held hostage by one of the bad guys. You need to like kind of do a stealth takedown, and then you'd be able to interact with this guy. So let me show you. I think fortunately I spent a little bit too much time on like the exit out of the airplane part because there's like a couple of animations that I had to like kind of merge together. Um, so there was a little bit of logic that kind of gave me a little bit of pain. Oh, hey, Alanika, welcome, welcome. It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. How are you? How are you? Welcome to the stream. All right, so let's get into it. Let's jump into, oops, not that way. Let me just actually update this level here so it's kind of like the first time it goes into game. All right, so this is the jump point, kind of the animations of you jumping out of the airplane, you're falling down, and you kind of landed, and you just pretty much pass out. So now at the bottom you see, press spacebar to get up. So once you get up, um, you'll see this NPC here, and I'm not entirely sure where the enemy is. He should have been spawned right here. So let me see why this is, why he's not spawning. So I made this a really short trip, just so that I I don't spend too much time on just this flight part. But uh, this is kind of interesting here. Give me 1 second. Trying to see where the enemy. Huh. Wondering why it didn't get spawned. Let me try real quick to start this in like a test mode. And I mean, it's already a test level, but um, to start it out as you would, but without the flight sequence. I'm wondering if there's like some kind of thing that is, you can see like this area of the level is a little bit messed up. So let me try and just start the level in not with the flight sequence. Okay, so there he is. Um, yeah, so at this point, it'd be like a takedown of the enemy. And at that point, oops, I just had a breakpoint here. So at that point, this guy kind of gets up, and now he's like, you can actually interact with him. So he's like paying attention to you, but it's kind of, oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so at this point, it's kind of like exactly when it starts, and you get your first mission. You'll notice that the clothing is a little bit weird. I'm not entirely sure what Epic did on 5.5. They did a ton of stuff that I think broke things, at least for me. Um, and one of them is changing the clothes on these NPCs. Like applying, setting that skeletal mesh to something else for each one of the NPCs. And I'm not entirely sure. what happened. I've actually tried my older project in 5.4, works fine. 5.5, they made some change. I couldn't find anything in the release notes, so I don't know at this point if it's broken or if it's like as intended. Um, so it's interesting, like this guy, he is spawned when I started like in test mode. But let me quickly check this out real quick. Wondering if it's something to do. Oh yeah, it's something to do with the way I'm doing the game first time. Okay, my bad. So I think I figured out what was going on. Let me just fix it real quick. Um, it is not, so what it's doing, it's not spawning the enemies and that's actually a really good, that was a really good test, so I don't have um, to deal with it, hopefully, in the main world. And yeah, let's see. So I'm hoping that, bear with me for 1 second, guys. Uh, oh, yeah, so that's the thing. It's not the clipping itself. It's and sorry for for joining the club of people with having trouble with 5.5, but um it's not clipping. It's interesting because like the way I have the friendly characters set up is so that I can change some of these like the pants, the shoes, or the top skeletal. And now, I've selected a different mesh for this guy, and it somehow like also attached that on top of the body, which already has kind of the default mesh. So I'm not entirely sure. It's so the way I'm doing it with this guy is if anybody's interested. And this was, like I said, worked in 5.4, right into 5.5, not working anymore. So my assumption is they broke something. I don't know. I mean, I'm just probably frustrated right now. So, but let me see if I can find just to quickly show you what I was doing with these guys. So I'm just using this, setting the skin asset and update, so that way I can, for different characters, I can set different meshes for like the jacket, for the pants, maybe for the shoes, just to make them look a little bit different. Um, and I'm not sure if they this thing got broken or what it is, if it's like they migrated it to something else. But then again, it's software development. It's kind of just chasing um, a completely like a constantly moving target. You're never gonna complete a project in software development nowadays. Um, yeah. Do you need to remove everything first? Um, you know what? I've tried to do that, but it's just let me. So see, this is if I try to clear this, doesn't really do anything. So yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. Um, I just took a break from this. I'm probably going to revisit it and and see what what's causing it. But yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. But like I said, that's software development for you. Bugs being introduced all the time. All right, so let me try and get the enemies to spawn as well. Bear with me for just 1 second here, real quick. Uh, so that way we can also get them like out of the flight. So there's that. Oh yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, so I can share this with you guys as well. So the way I'm doing it, when the game starts, if the game is the first kind of game first time, I'm calling, basically the start of the game, like the flight sequence, um, the crash, and but so in this case, what I was doing was, if this is true, basically you start with the flight, spawning the character, initializing the player, the NPCs and mission, but and then setting up the plane flight. But I wasn't doing anything else that I'm normally doing, like spawning the enemies, initializing the mission manager, friendly NPCs and all that. So I'm just gonna quickly try and change this. So let's see. Hopefully I'm not gonna mess too much of this. But what I want to do is I want to go through here. So kind of skip these two. Let me see. So spawning this, and then let me get this one in here. And then once everything is done with the character itself, like it's attached to the plane, it's in the plane, then I'm just going to try and do the sequence. That is, initializing. And actually, I think it might be too late. So this, I think, was the right way to do it. Um, as much as I don't like to show too much blueprint during streaming, because it's not the funnest thing to watch me kind of just you know uh, swimming through this muck and trying to find the solution. But yeah, let me see. Maybe I'll just like these ones. I can actually set these as a new sequence here and connect these other points. Hey, Tridai, bonjour, bonjour, bienvenue. It's been a long time. Yeah, yeah, busy, busy life on my end as well. Like it's been, I might have mentioned in a previous stream, we've had this past year, um, uh, out of 6 programmers on my team, 2 left. So basically, we lost a third of our team within a year, and I mean, uh, they went on to doing something. They weren't really happy. One of them retired just because it was that point to retire, and yeah, so you can imagine like everything else just still had to be done, but without two extra people. So it's sometimes, yeah, life gets in the way um, of doing these things. Um, oh, so Atlantica? No, I don't. I meant at my day job. For my team, for my day job. Yeah, if there'd be somebody like involved with the team, I'll definitely mention them. But no, this is for my day job. So what that resulted in is uh, you know less time to be spent on this project and like a little bit more headache after work. All right, so there's the fall. And you kind of fell to the ground, and now you can get up. And let's see. Oh, there we go. So now it works. So now the guy got spawned. I meant the enemy, and you can go ahead and that's new. I'd have to see what's going on with that. Why is and then you can so once you take down the enemy that's taking this guy hostage, you can like chat with him. Um, so he's gonna give you your first mission, to uh, that I was talking about, to go into town. And yeah. Oh, sorry to hear. Sorry to hear, Alpanica. Yeah, that's never fun. Um, yeah, so 3 yeah, I mean, I my migration to Unreal to UE 5.5 has been uh, uh, with very little. I mean, yeah, there's always pain, but with very little pain as far as yeah, I had to do some fixes, um, but everything else worked out really well in the end. Besides this weird issue with the being able to set the I was telling you earlier, setting skinned asset and update. This doesn't seem to work properly, at least not for me. So I'll try and dig into it and see if anything might solve it. Oh, nice, nice. I like that. It's like those memes on the internet, the guys be at home and doing chores around the house. I like those. Um, yeah, so let me try. I'm not entirely sure, like I said, why that was kind of interesting why it because I've had this. All right, so let me test this out one more time. Kind of, and of course, the plane is going to continue on flying, and just um, you'll be you won't see the plane. It's just going to disappear. Oh, hey, Roman, welcome, welcome. Um, yeah, so this is it's not yeah, it's like Three Dice saying it's an older project that I've been working on for a number of years now. Um, and Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so see for example now I'm not like pushing this guy around, so I think it might be something just related to the editor. Um, yeah, so once you take them down. Yeah, the guy is just blending into his default state, so that's why he looks like, he's like floating when he's getting up. But we'll get that sorted out. Also, what I'm gonna try as well is apply an audio to this guy. Like I might have mentioned in the past that I'm using this tool called 11 Labs, which is a very useful one to generate, kind of AI generated voices. Yeah. And so I've generated this one.
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
I hope you can hear it. Let me actually, oh, actually, I don't know if, let me try playing that one more time.
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
Yeah, so it's kind of more for like a placeholder or I don't know. Some of them I might just use them. But I'm gonna use this so that the NPC is actually voicing this out. So yeah. Um, Atlantica, the plane crash is not in the game. So the plane crash itself, like you might be able to see the plane still flying, but you just kind of, you jump out of the airplane in these points, right? Um, so yeah, the plane you'll see it continue to fly, and then maybe just blow up or something, and then that actor is gonna be destroyed. We're not gonna be seeing that basically. Yeah, so actually, it's interesting. Very good point, Elena. Can you control the emotions with the AI voices? Yeah, so this one, for example, so see, I've kind of capitalized these letters, and I'm not entirely sure if there's other like attributes that you can add to make this change. But if you listen to it, so I'll play it again.
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
So now, if I was to put this into lowercase, let me try, because I've tried it earlier. It seemed like it's a different intonation. So let me
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
and see it sounds a little bit different, right? Also, if there's like the exclamation point, the exclamation mark at the end, that also adds some changes to it. And also like the stability, like if it's like this, or let me see. I think there's like a couple of options here. So let me see. 11 flash multilingual. Yeah, so I'm gonna use this one. Do I think so? This one, for example, has a style exaggeration. So let me see if I can bump this up a little bit. Um,
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
yeah, so see that kind of changes it a little bit as well. Um,
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
so now let me try and put this into like, um, you know, caps. So let's try this.
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
See that, and that one sounds, hopefully you guys can hear it. Uh, that sounds a little bit different, right? Oh yeah. So let's see if we do this one like this. Oops. So we can try like this.
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
Actually, that sounds more natural, to be honest. Yeah, it's still not like screaming, please don't shoot, but I think it sounds a little bit more natural. So I'm gonna use this and um, and we'll see how it works. The other thing is that oh shoot, like that. Let me see. Let me see. So uh, oh, I see. So like this. Oops, come on. So did I? Yeah. Oh, with the lowercase t. Okay, let's try this.
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
Oh, I like that too. That's actually cool. Um, and yeah, the cool thing about this is it's free, right? Or at least not that I know, or pretty cheap as far as cost. So and they do have like some sound effects, some voice changer as well. And they have quite a few option of voices, you know, like at least the ones that are free, you know. So yeah, let's see how it works in the game, because this is again just um oh yeah, that'd be nice. You know, I was actually thinking of doing this at one point with some of the folks that are interested, you know, kind of just post it on Discord and see if folks would be interested in like recording themselves and seeing how it turns out, you know. A while back I had some fun with like recording myself saying some um like the scream of coming like falling from an airplane, you know, one of those. So yeah, through that I was just and I was thinking because this particular one, this tool, I haven't tried accents, you know, because I don't want to just have everybody have like a straight like American accent, right? I want to have some variety, and but most of them are like I'm not sure how, like for example Swedish, if it's gonna sound a little bit different, but they're like mostly like British or American, right? English. So but that's the thing, you know, it's kind of like if you're gonna voice a few phrases, then I might ask you to voice some more phrases, right? So that's why it's kind of hard. And at the moment, it's yeah, it's definitely just placeholders until I get all the dialogues in place, right? So once all the dialogues are in place, I can be like, um, you know, hey, Three Die, would you mind voicing this character? And here are the lines. And you know, for this line particularly, you know, it's like kind of screaming, kind of intense, kind of angry. But uh, but yeah, let me first of all, I'll just get the ones that I can do, and then you know, kind of placeholder. The ones that sound okay, maybe I'll keep in place. And yeah, but thank you so much for the offer. Like I said, I'll definitely reach out to folks. Okay, so let me import this first. Where did I download it? Sort by date. I just want to make sure that I get the right one. Bear with me for just 1 minute here. Oh, hey, Alexander, welcome, welcome. Would you return to CryEngine? Oh, that's a great question. Um, you know what? At the moment, no, unfortunately. It's just that I don't think I think it's dead. I'm, you know, I really enjoyed working with it. I was really hopeful, and I was kind of, you know, um, talking myself into staying with it and staying with it a little bit longer. And while a lot of my friends were moving to Unreal. And then I was just seeing that there's no news, there's no release, no, or sorry, like roadmap updates. Um, and I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna try Unreal. And at this point, I unfortunately I don't think CryEngine is going anywhere. Um, so um, yeah, and like Atlantic, I was saying, for myself as well, it was my first engine, and I did spend a good amount of time in it. Did a bunch of tutorials for it as well, and like I said, if they would have kept on, building on it, I think it would have been really good. But unfortunately, I don't know if it's. I'm not gonna say directly out loud, it's dead, but it just seems that way. Like the roadmap hasn't been updated in years at this point. There's hasn't been a release again in years. So, I mean, the forums are pretty much dead, or they're not even there anymore. They took out the forums. So, um, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, this is the reality. So, yeah, I know it's not pretty, but um, and I know I think a lot of it kind of stemmed from some of their like business decision and some of the stuff that they were doing that it affected the entire company to begin with, and that probably affected the engine as well. So yeah, and I was doing, I was fine with, yeah, Lumberyard was kind of unfortunately dead on arrival. I mean, I think they only use it or I think they might have advertised it that, what is it, Starfield or that game that was like really hyped up. Um, which I think is really looking really beautiful, but I wasn't sure if they used Lumberyard and they just like kind of completely tweaked it. Basically, I think the engine that Ubisoft uses, like that Dunia engine, is started off as CryEngine, Star Citizen. Yeah, Citizen. So I think that, so for example, the engine that Far Cry uses, or at least Far Cry 5 and 6, I think they were using this Dunia engine from Ubisoft, and I think that one started off as an offshoot from CryEngine, um, and but they so heavily tweaked it that there's no CryEngine left in it. So, but yeah, I mean, it shows that it had potential. It probably still does, but um, we don't know where it's at, unfortunately. Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Um, I wasn't sure exactly what um, you know, like what's presented to the people and what's behind the scenes, but that makes sense. Yeah. All right. So let me see where there's a player audio component. So what I want to do is in the NPC friendly, the player audio component, I want to make this um, be a little bit bigger for the attenuation settings, just so that it's kind of, I know it's weird, but it's kind of heard for a bigger distance. And my apologies. Yeah. Oh, so let me get caught up with the chat a little bit. Open 3D engine. Yeah, I've liked those. I've seen some of the things from that as well as well as Godot. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, false promises. I hear that. Unfortunately, that happens everywhere. Uh, I don't think Unreal is safe from it either, but at least, there's continuous updates. The things are active. Um, yeah, and I think, also what really damaged what really damaged CryEngine was, yeah, I think, well, first of all, there was literally outdated documentation, like a lot of it. and that hurt it, you know. And there were not a lot of people doing tutorials on it, you know, because I mean, yeah, people like documentation, but it's I think when they first look it up, they would look up a video on YouTube to like, you know, how do you create a component in CryEngine or something like that. And unfortunately, there were very few of those. Also, the marketplace was dead from, again, it was dead from the beginning or almost dead. Um, and that was also another unfortunate thing that, you know, like I use a lot of things from the marketplace, you know, it saves me a lot of time. And that was not the case with CryEngine. So, but yeah, that, you know, that's kind of where I stand with it, Alexander. So hopefully that gives you a long worded answer. Um, oh yeah, yeah, that's true. And updating, I've tried Lumberyard once, and I'm like, okay, this is CryEngine. It was literally like they changed maybe a little bit of the UI, and that was it. So unfortunately, I had to, you know, I was, and you know, I'm really happy with Unreal. You know, like I can build my project easily. Um, you know, things run. I just need to get better at some of the optimizations that I need to do once everything is in place. But but yeah, I'm learning some of those too. So I'll share some of those with you guys as well. But yeah, things work. You know, yeah, there's some, like I said, you know, there's some hiccups with every new release, but that's to be expected. So Atlantica, that's exactly you kind of like read my mind, so to speak. That was exactly what I was gonna say next. It's kind of to my knowledge, just like you're saying, you know, they're like, okay, you know what? This was a waste of time and money. You know, this lumberyard thing. Um, and yeah, I don't even think they had a marketplace from the get-go. Like CryEngine, at least they tried, but like Lumberyard was just, okay, here's another engine from Amazon, which we already trust a lot. Uh, they actually Amazon bought the health provider I was at here in my area, so I'm like, oh my God, and people just started leaving. They like I left too once I found a family doctor. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. If you think of those, one more rant. I was talking to somebody about where do you think Earth is going, like, you know, like in a few decades or something. It's like, well, I think it's just gonna be like, as a future, I'm thinking of Elysium or the Earth from like Avatar, you know, when they're like, yeah, the Earth is like resource starved, you know, overpopulation, you know, this is what's gonna happen. I know we're not gonna move anywhere. But yeah, the everything is going to be controlled by three or four major corporations, right, in the world, and you know everything from like resources, food, everything. And it looks like we're heading that way, unfortunately. So it's sad though. But all right, well, enough of Debbie Downer or whatever. But let's yeah, let me get this attenuation settings set up so that the player can actually, you know, the NPC is actually saying something. Um, so let me first I want to import that audio file. Let me get in here real quick and assets, audio for dialogues. This is going to be, I'm just going to bring it in here for now. See if I need to place it anywhere else. Hostage. I'm just going to call it please don't shoot. All right, so let me create this into an audio cue because we can adjust the spatialization with this one, or attenuation, that's what I meant. So we'll try and do this at 4,000. And also like the fall point is going to be pretty close to these guys, so it's not like, you know, you got to walk like 100 meters and, you know, somebody saying something would be unreasonable to be heard. So, and then we'll change this to maybe 7,000 units. Right. We'll drag this in. I just wanted to do a test and make sure that it can be heard. Oh yeah, there we go. So we got the, I think that's our attenuation settings, that little sphere around it. I'm just going to move this to the side for a little bit just to be able to make some updates and show you guys. Okay, so let's change the inner radius a little bit. So there's how the inner radius works. And then let me actually, that was actually some good settings. So I'm going to set this to about 1,000. And then the fall-off distance maybe to 4,000. So you can see like the fall point should be around here. Um, and then once I fall there, I should be able to hear the guy screaming for help and you know, asking for help. Let's for now I'm just gonna kind of jump in just through like testing, kind of close to where the fall point is, so I don't go through the whole plane flight. So let me see, where's my here, main level, and it's not the first time. Hey, Nolikable, welcome, welcome. Um, yeah, you know, as far as that goes, those guys at oh, what's the name of the company that did Kingdom Come Deliverance? They made a very good use of it, and I think they also had like some previous employees that either worked at Crytek or definitely had a lot of experience with CryEngine. The unfortunate thing was that Kingdom Come 1, when I played it, like it kind of ran not that well on mine. You know, I know I don't have the best video card. You know, I have a 1070, but I've I haven't played a on whoops, where did I end it up there? I don't think I've played an Unreal Engine game that worked as bad as that one. Yeah, it was beautiful, but you really needed to have like a really kind of beefed up computer to run the first one. I think the second one might run just as well, because it's probably on the same version of engine. They might have made some improvements in-house. But yeah, I think it visually, you know, everybody was looking at it as like, oh my God, this is amazing. And yeah, it's true for sure. What's happening here? Why is this one not? Did I mess up some of the? Yeah, yeah, probably did. My apologies. So this one, oh yeah, that's probably why. Because I'm not, I was not setting this main character here when I'm spawning it, so my bad. All right, let's also put it down here. Okay, I'm hoping this is gonna do it. Um, Oh yeah, so and that's the yeah, exactly. That's what Alanika was saying, Alexander. It's they try to make it with that engine, and also to my knowledge, and it they just never succeeded, unfortunately. All right, let's see. Why is it this one?
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
Okay, so that's the thing, but why isn't it playing? I think I might need to auto activate it. So it's coming from here.
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
Okay, that's good. It should have its own attenuation settings, but why doesn't it play when you jump into game? is auto activate, so that should do it. Um, oh, New World, I've not heard of it. Is that, Alexander, is that made with Lumberyard? I had no idea. I'll check it out. Thank you so much for mentioning it. Why is that not playing? Let's see if we can attach it to the player audio component. So there's that. And let's see, should we can set it to auto activate. Maybe not. Let me do it a different way. So the way I was doing this one, because there are going to be other like enemy NPCs taking hostages. So the way that I have this done is, this. So for example, I have the spawners for the enemies, and there's the character to interact with, and the state to set him in. Um, at the end of, usually with the enemy, you're usually going to do a takedown, right? So on this guy's death, it's going to activate this character, and you'll be able to, um, you know, interact with them if they're interactable. Of course, the state to be set could be something else, like inactive, where you inactivated or however. But yeah, once let me go into my enemy here. So into my enemy. Basically, what happens is on whenever you defeat the enemy, whether you like shoot him or like you do a stealth takedown, I should actually update it to be on death because this is only on the stealth takedown. So what's happening is I'm enabling this item, which is going to be the character to interact or the actor to interact. If it's like an enemy that, say, guards machinery or something, you take them down, then at that point, I'd be enabling the item and I'd be able to interact with it. But so in this case, I'm just going to need to go into my thing here, and where is my enable, or is it in the parent? Enable, there we go. So in this case, just going to grab the player audio component and play. And I think at this point, so this is going to be interesting because they all have, I'm just going to clear this because I don't want all my metahuman, like all my friendly NPCs to start playing that same audio. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, come on, let's go. There we go. And in the case of this guy, so hopefully, if you guys want to kind of jump into the main world, let me know and I can like pause this and I can do it on my own time. But if you're interested in seeing some of this stuff, um, I'll continue with it. So, but yeah, let me know. Okay. Well, so what I'm gonna try and do is, let's see, um, because I want to play the sound only for this one guy, and what I might do is, let's do this. I am going to, in begin play, so let's add another variable here, which actually I'm probably going to move into the main NPC, but this would be, let's do set audio. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was like audio source or set sound, I believe is what it was. So let's promote this to a variable. And this would be friendly NPC sound. All right, so this would be on play. So we're just gonna do a quick um, validated get on this guy. So if we do have a sound, we're gonna set it and start playing it. Play sound, I think is what it was, or I think it was just, oh no, sorry, the player audio component off of this one would be like to start playing it. So this friendly NPC sound, we're just going to make it visible. Um, oh, hey, no local. I got into locomotion. Oh, yeah, it definitely is. And that's why, for that piece, I am, well, cheating. I'm using the advanced locomotion system. I know it's probably outdated, but I think it might be a little simpler than what Lyra and some of the other ones. Or at least I'm not sure. I might have been gotten used to it to a point where I'm comfortable enough with it to do almost anything. But yeah, starting from scratch is it's definitely difficult. Like even with ALS, when I started, it was I had many a times when I'm like, oh my God, why did I choose this? But I kind of just stuck with it and eventually worked out, thankfully. All right, so let's apply the friendly NPC sound here and let's see if it plays. Why is it not playing? So there's the audio. Huh, that's kind of interesting. Why does that not play in game? Oh yeah, and Atlantica, you're like the case that is even, more extreme uh than, from our all of our stuff.
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
So that can play, but could it be the specialization? I don't think it is, but
Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are.
could it?
Please
Oh,
don't shoot. I don't know where they are. Please don't shoot.
okay, so that works. But I don't think I need to have this on a looping kind of thing. But I do want to play it. Um, I think what we could do even better, um, it could be, let me go back in here, and now that we have this, when we use this voice, I'm just going to quickly copy this and save it in my notepad somewhere around here. Maybe we can generate a second audio, so it kind of randomly plays between a few of these lines. Um, life is a canary in a, in a mine. I totally get that. Um, oh yeah, so Notable, if you were referring to advanced locomotion system, um, yeah, it's I think the thing I like about it is that I started, I never really moved on to like the newer things that they're doing nowadays with animation, right? So because in the end, I just want to make tweaks to the animation that are already there, and I didn't want to mess too much with things. So I was able to add, custom things like, having them kneel like this, or apply a specific, um, montage when you do a certain thing, like jump out of the airplane. So that kind of stuff I wanted to be able to do, and it was, I think, ALS. looking at ALS now, I do have some understanding of it, but then looking at the new Lyra stuff and all what they're doing, that one is just a little kind of goes over my head at the moment. So it's also a matter of time of, okay, I know ALS good enough to make things. Yeah. All right, so let's do another audio in here, and so we can like kind of alternate between them. So I think what could else be? I would have told you all I know. All right, so that could be another one.
I would have told all I know.
You.
I would have told you all I know.
Let's see. Can we make this one like Atlantica was saying with some capitals in here?
I would have told you all I know.
Okay. Uh, gonna alternate some of the letters. I want to see how different it.
I would have told you all I know.
Okay, that doesn't seem too frightened. Um, maybe do a please at the end. What happens if I add multiple exclamation marks?
I would have told you all I know. Please.
Nah, that doesn't really do much. Oh, actually, I was thinking, what if I do this?
I would have told you all I know. Please.
Ah, that was so cool. Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. Uh, so I'm not sure if Atlantica, if you heard that part.
I would have told you all I know. Please.
Oh my God, that's funny. Uh, but let's see if, cause like the U, I think it was better if with like a lowercase. Let's see.
I would have told you all I know. Please.
Oh, that doesn't work at all. So that was a major change.
I would have told you all I know. Please.
What happened? I'm still using the same voice, I think. It's Chris. Yeah, I think that's what I was using earlier. Um, yeah. Um,
I would have told you all I know. Please.
okay, let's just use it like this. I'll play around. Yeah, please. Oh, you know what? Let me copy this one. I'm gonna try this one real quick, Atlantica. I'm kind of curious to see how this one is gonna turn out. So, Pliiizz. Let's see.
I would have told you all I know. Please.
Please. No, that was like really please. Okay, so let's use that one. I mean, like I said, at the moment they're just kind of placeholders, and so I'm gonna try and in this case, for the friendly NPC sound, let's do. So this one's a Q, and what we can do with Qs is we can add a little bit of a random. I think it's what it's called, like a random node, and so we got different weights to different audio pieces. So we got this guy, and let's import, come on, let's import the one that we just put in. So where did we place it? It's right here. So this is the second one. Yeah, have fun, Atlantica. Um, and best of luck. Thank you so much for stopping by. All right. Take care. All right. All right. So let's see this
I would
one.
have told you all I know. Please. I would have told you all I know. Please. I would have told you all I know. Please. Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are. I would have told you all I know. Please. Please don't shoot. I don't know where they are. I would have told you all I know.
Okay. So
Please.
they're kind of playing. I'm not sure how random it is. I mean, it's kind of like one after the other. So I mean, with the weights, I'm just gonna leave them as is for now. If I decide to add any more of these kind of pleading sounds or something like that, I can put those in. But for now, let's just keep it like this. And the other thing that I wanted to do is in my friendly character, let's do the pitch multiplier. I think this is how fast it plays it. So I'm just gonna kind of slow it down a little bit. It sounds kind of like a child's voice to some extent, and we'll see how this works. Huh, if it even works. So what's happening? I thought it worked earlier. It worked when I put it on um, on looping, but I don't really want to do that. So let me try this out because it's got to be a better way to do it than having these looping. So let me try this again.
I would have told you all I know. I don't know where they are. I would have told you all I know.
Yeah, so that plays when the audio is looping, but I don't really want to do that. Let me see this one. There's also another option with these audio components for like to auto activate. Let's see if this might do it. Because I do want to play these at like certain intervals. You know, I don't want to play like continuously. So why doesn't that? Do I need to like activate it in here? I think I might have done some of this stuff with sounds a while back, but it's been a minute. So apologies for the kind of the drawn out trying to figure out what this is, how this is done. So I should have been able to hear it back here, but let's see if we reset it. And also, I don't think it needs to be activated after you start playing the audio. So first also, let's see if we get to this point, which we should. Yeah, so we do get to it. But there's no audio playing, so that's interesting. I'll try and dig into this, guys, and by the next stream, hopefully I'll have it figured out as well as kind of the second. So you take down the enemy that's holding this guy hostage, and then once you interact with the friendly NPC, you get your first mission. So I need to also kind of write that out as far as playing around with what we just seen with this tool, which, like I said, I haven't tried it before to like change the capital letters, lowercase letters, and see how things work. But yeah, let's test this out in the main level, um, and we'll see how it runs in there as well. As far as kind of the plane flight, the fall down, taking the enemy down, or like and rescuing the guy. So let's see how this does. So let's load into this. It might take a little bit longer. Yeah. So one thing that I'm also trying to do is trying to, besides investigating some ways to optimize the world, either like by pack level actors, or by instantiating a lot of the assets that are repetitive. But I'm also going to try and see when it comes to um, like in my case, this world partition setup, and when you actually load into the game, um, how can you load into it a little bit quicker? And you'll see what I meant, because this is what I'm uh, kind of being trying to figure out at the moment. And like when you start the game, like the first time, and actually let me make sure that where the fall point is in a valid location. So it should be right here. Let's see if we can push it forward a little bit. All right, so you'd be falling kind of right there. We'll see if it doesn't cause any issues. There's our enemy holding the guy hostage. Okay, so this is what I meant. Once you jump into game, there's this pause for like, I'm not sure, like 20 seconds or so, um, when the world is being loaded. So what I want to do is um, load the menu, which I've been able to do in 5.3, and after 5.3, maybe 5.4 as well. No, I think 5.4, it wasn't working anymore. But up until 5.3, what I had at this point, I was querying the world. I think it's like a world partition system or something like that, and you can get the fact that everything has been loaded or not. But I wasn't able to use that anymore in 5.4 and 5.5. So basically what would have happened is this menu would have come up immediately. And then when I click on campaign, basically jumping into the game world, that's when the loading would start. And I'd be able to show like a loading screen and so on. So yeah, that's one of the other things that I'm trying to figure out, because at this point everything is loaded, everything that I need. So once I press campaign, I'm in the plane, flying around. The flight path is a little bit messy, just because I still need to adjust it a little bit so it looks like the plane flies like a plane and not like this, basically like it's doing a wheelie, which is kind of fun to look at, but it's not realistic, right? So, and actually let's quickly jump out of here. So kind of the the chaos behind the jumping. So you're kind of falling down. And when you press space, this is what I've been like kind of hit with, is it's not doesn't seem to be placing the character um, at this location, where the fall point is. So um, so what happens is this is where my when you fly, you fly down this line, and when you overlap with this sphere, that's when you get the ability to interact and jump out of the airplane. And then you fall, you kind of hit the ground, and you kind of you black out, right? You close your eyes, and you don't really see what's happening. So at that point, what I'm doing is I'm uh, setting the actor location to this fall point. So when you do get up, pressing space to get up, you're getting up in this point. But as you were seeing, like the falling was happening, um, and I was hitting like something way back there. It wasn't like anywhere like around here, unfortunately. So that's why I'm not uh, entirely sure um, why it doesn't place the player like the actor at this point. So that's another thing that I was trying to sort out. So let's see if I can. I might go back into that test level because things are a lot quicker to load. Because I think I was experiencing something similar in that as well, like when the player was not really, translated or not, teleported to this fall point, but somewhere else. So I'm wondering, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you, kind of a little bit of the flight sequence, and but let's see if we can fix this up. And I wanted to show you like this thing that I'm trying to figure out with, you know, giving the player a little bit of a better sense of, well, there's something happening, like the loading screen and so on. So as I was telling you in here as well, this is the fall point. This one seemed like it was much more accurate. So let me try and position it maybe behind this boulder here. Yeah, so this is where I would think you would be placed at. And so I got the fall point. I think this is showing the text. So we can like gauge where exactly am I falling. And where's my level blueprint here? I just wanted to make sure that I'm starting the game for the first time so that we're kind of flying, right? Oh, great. Thank you, Epic. Like it didn't fall this it didn't fail or like um, fail like this entire weekend. And I can't remember like the last time I had failure like this, but it did now. So yeah, let's load into the world here, into the project. Also, the one thing that I've tested out is in since you can still kind of use Bridge to export metahumans, there is the option to export them as low optimized, medium optimized, high optimized. And I think there might be a fourth. So I've tried to export them as medium optimized, for the heads of the NPCs, and it actually came out really good. Um, the only thing is, what that does, of course, it breaks a lot of the stuff that you already have in place. So I need to figure out a way to re-import the better optimized version of the metahumans, and then I also have the clothing that I need to fix. So yeah, there's like I said, these growing pains with some of these releases that we all have to go through. But what I'm hoping for is that like all these character NPCs should be a lot more optimized, like a lot more bones being used that are not needed. All right, so this is one thing that I think I might have seen a solution, kind of this load time that into the project that takes a while due to these grooms, these metahuman grooms. So I'm hoping to be able to apply that as well. All right, so let me open these editors here. All right, so let me try this one more time and see. All right, so there's the fall point, which is, oh yeah, I know I moved it, but I don't think I saved the level. So this is the placement on the spline for this this kind of jump point. So let's see, we placed it over there. Let's see if I'm just gonna try and save it this time. All right, and let's also look at the level blueprint so that I am starting the game for the first time. All right, so there's the jump, and you're jumping, and you're jumping, you're falling. All right, so there's the fall point, right? You've seen the, we've seen the text. Let me do something real quick. I'm actually curious to see where we are. Yeah, so we are right underneath where the fall point is, right? And then if we place the space bar to get up. Okay, so this one follows the fall point really well. I am not entirely sure why it didn't. Let's try it one more time. Oh, and actually what I wanted to do, there is the location on the main world, the main level where I'm falling, it's still on the landscape, but it is a world partition landscape. So I'm wondering if you were to fall onto like a static mesh, would that break anything? Let me try and place in like a boulder or something like that. Um, because also like the place that I want the player to fall, I want to have it more like a, maybe you can call it like a hero area where it's like more detail around it. So let me see if I can find like rock, scorchy, maybe this one here. All right, so let's see kind of, you break your back on this, so to speak. Let me, this one should, there we go. So the fall point, as you can see, is slightly above uh, the ground. That was just, I was trying to account for any issue with like physics and collisions. So let's see if this works as far as falling onto this onto like a boulder or like a static mesh, basically. All right. Yeah, and there's that issue that I was telling you about. Um, that it is not bringing it back to where the fall off point would be. So why is that? Let's see if we do it one more time. Could it be because of the Yeah, so now I went through that thing. Hmm. So I'm wondering what would make kind of the because basically what happens is when I fall on my main character is I'm triggering this on landed event. So I can show you real quick. And this is also for like when you jump out of like a high location. So you jump out and you kind of land and you want to apply some damage. Like for example, if it's not in a vehicle, like for example, if you're not in the airplane or like a car, I'm going to check for a fall death. You know, basically if the fall time or um, I'm not sure if it's calculated through the fall time, but like from the oh, maybe it might have been. Let me check this real quick for anybody that's interested. Oh yeah, so I do a calculate fall height and time. And there is a little bit of math here. So here, if anybody's interested, I can share it with you guys. Let me see. So in checking for fall depth, mainly what's happening is I'm getting the owner, the velocity, and kind of the velocity on the z-axis, and this is the falling speed. And then with the fall, we're using the fall height, you know, you got the falling speed, the like the gravity, I think. I think I found this solution somewhere on the internet. So this is some physics that I can't really explain so well. But what I get out of that is um, the falling height. So I have a height set for like depth. So if it's anything higher than this value, I'm not sure what I've set it to. Maybe like it's definitely not that. This is like a player stats component. So each one of these has a different. Well, it's probably set to the same, but let me see. For example, um, oh, I guess it's a pretty small value. So I might need to update that. But yeah, and so in the player itself, once it falls, you know, I'm setting the actor location based on where that sphere is, and and this is when I'm hitting the ground. But yeah, so for example, the way I'm doing it, and so currently I'm in that vehicle, the airplane, and I'm jumping out. Um, the plane itself has the plane jump point that I interacted with assigned to it. And then I'm getting that sphere one, which is, let me see, where did I ended up under the map? So each one of those fall points, they have, where is it? You know, they have the sphere, which it might be better off to not necessarily use that sphere, but so I'm just using that to get the world location of it and setting the actor location for the main character to that point. But let me see if I set it a little bit higher and I also do a teleport because this one should teleport to physics states. So it might be worth it. And then, you know, I do a couple of delays, you know, just ragdoll once you hit the ground. And finally, I revert to a main camera because right now, you know, you're like kind of just falling and it's just playing a montage. Yeah, so yeah, let's see. Will that help in any way? Because I'm expecting to be right on that rock, right? But it's still going, it's going through it, which is, and let's see if we can look at the player collision. And it does have player collision, so that should not necessarily be the issue, I hope. See if I move this out of the way. And we'll try the ground one more time. So the ground, I think they didn't have any issues, but I think it created some on, yeah, so see, for example, now I still went through the ground. So that's something interesting that has to do with what I assume collisions. Because um, the landed is being triggered, so let's try this out. So jumping. I should play those a little bit slower. And we have the vehicle. We're setting the actor location to that point. Um, I'm wondering if it's... Yeah, so now I'm just like I went through the terrain. So I wonder if it's something that has to do with this ragdoll start. Though it doesn't, it happens a little later. So let me skip over all these and jump right into this set notification text. So kind of bypassing the ragdoll and some of these delays. Alright, so we know this one gets triggered. Huh. It's like he's a basketball player or something. Huh. That's some really weird. Sometimes some of these issues become funny, but they're also a little frustrating. So let's see what's going on here. I wonder if it's like this teleport. And stopping short of target, only the root component is swept and checked for blocking collision. Child components move without sweeping. Let's try that as well. Instead of the teleport, because he kept on teleporting somewhere else. Let me also check on this jump point. So the sphere one, this one shouldn't have any collisions. Yes. Oh, let's see. Let's turn this off so it can't step on it. And that can also cause some issues. Um, and this one I should have like used like a billboard or something, because with a billboard I think you can also get the world location of it, so you can set the character there. You know, like this is what I meant with this billboard. And then that's the overlap and the dot product location. Okay. So let's try it one more time. Getting out of the airplane. Whoa. I was gonna say, at least it seems it's in the right location, but it's not. uh, it should be over there. Let's try and see if I can use the billboard instead of the sphere. So we're setting that up like that. Let's delete the sphere just to remove some of the potential headache. I don't think there might be any, but yeah, so there we go. That would be our point where to place the player. And let me see, where is the, in here we just gotta grab, so from the jump point, I need to grab that billboard and get its world location. And I'm just adding 100 to it so that it's even higher, though let's try without. I'm not sure if that's adding any additional issues. I'm just gonna quickly save and unless so it doesn't decide to quit. All right, just gotta grab some water. All right, let's see. Okay, so that's in the right spot. But let's see if that's one of the things that I hate sometimes about physics is consistency. So let's try jumping one more time. Okay, that seems okay. I'll continue with connecting the rest of these. Kind of just delays, shutting the eyes, going into ragdoll. And let's see if that does it. Or at least on the surface, hopefully it does it, but let's hope for that consistency as well. All right, it's falling, hitting the ground, passing out. Spacebar to get up, it's getting up in the right point. Okay, so 1 for 1. Let's try it one more time. Oh, there we go. I was telling you about this consistency. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. How I can make this, if it's like something related to the capsule component collision. I thought I had this set to continuous collision detection. I'm not sure if is it, you can set it on this one. Yeah, so that one CCD is enabled. So it should determine when it hits something. I'm not sure if the landscape itself has such a thing, unless I've already set it. Um, what I might do actually is when it does hit because the other thing is when it jumps out of the airplane, the collision capsule. Let's see if we can pause it real quick, just to verify something that I was. So it's falling. It's oh man, and I hate when this happens. You kind of get this. I'm not sure what it's called, like a Z lock or kind of a access lock, and it kind of stays with the camera. But let's see, where is my main character? It's here. Okay, now it's back. But as you can see, you kind of have this thing where he's falling, but the collision sphere itself is vertical. So I am not entirely sure. Let's try something real quick. When you jump out of the airplane, I want to reduce that collision capsule, like the height of it. I want to make it as small as possible. So let's see if this is just my reflex of saving constantly because I know that Unreal Engine sometimes can get crashy. Okay, so what I was hoping to do is when it's actually I think when it's jumping. So let me look at the plane. Where is my plane? There it is. So let's see, when I'm interacting and exiting the plane, basically exiting vehicle, which is just an expansion of the regular vehicle's exit. But I want to, let's see, so exit vehicle, it's going this way, it's not in vehicle anymore, canceling the vehicle, um, and then exiting, unpossessing. So I am going to try, and this one's just, oh, the vehicle master. Oh, I've overridden it over here. So jumping, let's expand this a little bit, avert your eyes from the spaghetti. But yeah, so I am jumping, changing the camera. It's not in vehicle anymore. It's detaching from the actor. This is when it's detaching from basically from the airplane itself. Right now the character is attached to the airplane. And then you got the gravity scale. It's falling. This is like kind of a falling screen that think I might have recorded myself some time ago. But I was also thinking of with the base character, get capsule component, and trying to see if I can set, is it height, capsule half height to maybe 10. And also, so I'm going to do this, and I'm also going to try and set it visible. And then when I land, I'm just going to set it back to normal, but I'm hoping it's just going to help with that collision because it is coming in pretty quick during fall. And since it's not like when you jump off of something, the character is still like the mesh is still vertical, like it's standing. So I'm not sure if the fact that the mesh is horizontal, kind of just falling out of something, when you see people falling out of the airplanes, you kind of see them like, flapping their arms around. It's not so much as, feet first type of thing. So I'm hoping to see if updating the the capsule itself might help. So that one's that, and in here, let's actually set this so that is visible constantly. So this is again just a wild guess here. All right, so I think the capsule was already set to be smaller. So it fell where it's supposed to again. First try was fine. Um, okay, so that's good. So the capsule is smaller, and as you can see, this is what I was thinking that it might happen, like, and that's why it might get confused. See, and this is a really good example. It with the physics sometimes. And let me try it one more time. I'm, I'm kind of thinking it's gonna go through the floor again, but this was like the first thing that I was able to try. So now it's 2 for 2. It's kind of a record. Yeah, so and of course, once you get up from being in that in that uh, you know ragdoll mode. That's what that's what I meant. That's what I was thinking of. Once you get up from that, um, yeah, I can update the capsule back to its original size. But let me try this one more time. Yep, nope. It is still having a fit. Huh. It did go for 2 for 2, but still doesn't really solve our problem. So this time worked, but again, it's just it's unreliable. Um, yeah, passing through the map is not good. You cannot park there, mate. I know. Um, so I'm just starting to think, because right now this is kind of physics controlled, and physics and falling, maybe not the best combo at times. So I'm thinking it might be what I'm gonna do, and I think this might be a lot easier, is to set up a timeline. So basically, you jump out of the airplane, you don't care about physics. You're just kind of like slowly bringing the character, no, not slowly, but like at a full speed, bringing the character down all the way to this point. So this would be kind of the end point, and then um, the landing, air quotes, landing would be uh, right here, but it'd be just through a timeline. So I think that might be the easiest, or like not necessarily this, to me, this seemed easy, but I didn't expect that it was going to give me this much of a pain with with the physics, right? And like, it worked this time, but if it doesn't work, one out of 100, it's still a failure. So that's why I think it's yeah, see, this time it went straight through. And that's why I'm not entirely sure why it it doesn't want to do it. And even if um, when I land, if I kind of bump it up, kind of you fall and you just, kind of um, it pushes you up, it kind of kicks you up when you hit the ground. But let me try this real quick and see if all right, so that kind of worked. I mean, it it worked as expected, but okay, again with the 2 for 2, but I'm not sure how consistent this can be. Okay, that's 3 for 3. Oh, that's a great thought as well, 3 Die, because I already have the raycast from the this drop point, you know, so this drop point does that's how this one is placed down here. It's through a raycast. Um, but that's uh, you know, the idea of with the timeline as to um, so the idea with the timeline is I think the safest one. But right now I'm kind of 4 for 4, which is better than usual. The main test is going to be in the main level. So and 5 for 5, so that's pretty good. Okay, well I'll keep this for now. With the backup of being able to do like a timeline. And so what I'll do is what's the original size for the capsule component? The half height is 90. Okay. So in this case, once you land, um, we set the notification. I just need to set the possess again, so just gotta move some of these things out of the way. So I think over here I can grab this and set half height back to 90. And we'll make sure that we're not like once we get up, we're not kind of in a uh, in like some sinking sands or whatever those are called. All right, so we're falling, and yep, there we go. And that was a 5 for 5. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to go with the timeline, like you were saying. So yeah, unfortunately, we can't. Doesn't seem like I can like reliably use physics. So yeah, it's just gonna be the animation is still gonna be played, and you're still just gonna be uh, sent down from that point where you're jumping, down to the ground at a speed. But once it gets to that point, it's just gonna end, and I should not have to rely on physics for something like this. And yeah, the other thing that I was kind of considering now that I'm thinking about this a little bit more is kind of either adjusting the gravity, so basically you're not falling at the same speed, or um, and I think this might be the easiest way, but I'm not sure if it's going to impact physics in any way. So there is an option which, because it would look a little bit more cinematic, I think, to slow down the game time. So basically, once you jump, um, where did that go here? All right, so you're jumping. Maybe the capsule doesn't seem to be doing much, but I can also set, I think it was game, is it game time or is it game, oh, what was that? Uh, let's see, I know it's when you overlap with this one, I'm using it somewhere. Um, where am I using it? Oh, global time dilation. So I'm thinking if we could try and use it here, maybe not 0.1, but kind of make it half of the speed once you jump out of the airplane. So kind of set it, um, slow the game speed down, kind of like you're doing it here, but then you jump, and then you're like, whoa. And that's why my hope was that it could be like this, right? So let's try that one more time. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's just, yeah, it's very unreliable. So I am going to just go with there were, a couple of attempts here. So I'm going to go with the option to but with the timeline option. The other thing I was thinking, so I'm playing this montage that you're falling and you kind of like looking backwards, but I mean if you were to jump and you kind of jumping feet first, it could be just taking over by the the falling mechanism from Unreal. So from the character movement. So how about if we try doing that? So instead of playing this animation here, I'm just like literally falling. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna need, I think I can set this to 1 or not even touch it. I'm not sure if this gravity scale shouldn't impact it, but let's see. Okay, so at least that way I'm not affecting, um, it's literally just like a fall. So it's getting up where it's supposed to. And it's going into ragdoll, if speed is going out, you're kind of like falling back. So that one seems to work. It always seems to work until it doesn't, and that failure is just when you're like, okay. Well, at least we did think of another solution, right? For this. And I'm gonna hide the capsule. Just quickly save this before any failure or any crash happens. And I'll jump into the main level and we'll give that a test before ending the stream today. We'll see if it works. I'll try it in there. Um, and if if it doesn't, then I'm just gonna default. And I think I might I'm gonna try the timeline as well, just to see how it works. And if it's kind of as natural as this fall, um, then then I might just use it. So let's go into the main level and see what we got. But yeah, 3D, I can definitely see that for a wingsuit as well. I mean, in the end, with a video game, it's about faking some of the things, right? It's as much as I would like to use physics for like a fall, which that's kind of real world, you still have to like fake a lot of stuff. Um, you know. So it's one of those things that it's got to be entertaining, not frustrating. And I've played my share of frustrating games. Yeah, and I mean, I think even even to this day, a lot of them are, unless it's like some kind of hardcore like shooter where it's got like the mechanics of, if you when you do the loadout, if you choose this particular bullet, it's going to have this kind of drop over this kind of distance. And um, but even in those games, it's still not real world. So it's still a level uh, of faking it. Okay, so let's load into here. Um, oh yeah, and one thing that I'm also trying to look into is I'm not sure if you might have noticed, but when when in game, and this is kind of odd. I was trying to figure this out, but when in game, like some of these big boulders back here, these kind of cliffs, I'm not seeing them. Like they're not loaded, so I'm not entirely sure if it's. Let me try this something real quick, guys. So I'm just gonna set this to never distance call because these are something that you want to see them from pretty much anywhere on the map. So I'm just gonna keep them that way. All right, let's jump into game. See see what we're getting. If it's gonna go through the map again, well, you know, um, I just kind of I wanted to have something happen before we end the stream. But if it doesn't, then it's gonna happen in the next one. Yeah, exactly. Uh, so, um, so by the way, just as a quick update, no stream the next couple of weeks. I'm just going to be doing some traveling over the weekends, so I'm not going to be I'm not going to be around for too long to do a proper stream. But I'll definitely see you in about 3 weeks or so. Okay, so yeah, the like I say, the plane is kind of tilting a lot. Let me close some of these. Got so many things open. Oh my God. I'm surprised this even works. All right, so we're closing in. Now let's jump. So we're falling, we're falling, we're falling. And I'm not entirely sure if that was like, yeah, okay. So there's our answer. I'm gonna go with a timeline because it's definitely like not doesn't seem to be, even though it's kind of odd because it instead of it places the character here instead of where this one, oops, I got lost, where this one is over here. So yeah. Okay, I think the timeline is going to be our solution, and that's what I'm going to implement hopefully today, and hopefully I get a couple of evenings that are not too bad over the next week, and I'll try and get that done. Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you taking time out of your Sunday, or any other day when you're watching this. And until the next one, have a great week coming up, and great next couple of weeks until we see each other again, or you know, um, we chat each other again here on YouTube. All right, take care, everybody, and see you in the next one. Thanks again.